When you think of controllers for the Commodore 64, you probably think about something like this guy, or maybe this guy, or these guys. You probably don't think about a 2-button arcade controller, but there's something special about this one. Stick around and find out.
Let's go into the Monroeworld.
So the technology behind this is called the 5+1 buttons joystick. This GitHub, and I'll have links to everything in the description below, allows you to build a schematic to wire up a Commodore 64 controller that has 3 buttons plus a start and select. This is all Greek to me, but I bet some of you can figure this out. There's also auto firing and spacebar overhauling you can do in here, all sorts of crazy stuff. Now, this controller already has this board built into it, so you don't have to do any work. You plug it in and you get the extra button. Now, I did have to make a modification. I had to rip the resistor out of here to make it work properly with the C64 Ultimate, but you won't have to do that when you buy yours from Tech Dungeon. Again, link in the description down below. These guys are pioneering the way with this stuff. They're even doing a 3-button controller, which I can't wait to talk about. Meanwhile, get the 2-button games right out of this GitHub. We're going to look at some of these games, but they're adding new ones all the time, so you want to keep checking back. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is show you that this thing actually works using their own 5+1 buttons joystick tester. You can see the joysticks working fine, A and B. Excellent. So we've got a nice working shooting solution here. We're going to start with 1942. Of course, you have a fire button and a roll button to roll yourself out of a nasty situation. Let's see how this works out for us. Nice and responsive. There's our roll. Yes, the second button works great. I'll tell you what, you really take things like extra buttons for granted until you only have one button to work with, like the Commodore 64, and then it's like, man, I wish I had just one more button. But yeah, nice and responsive stick. I dig it. And one more. Well, I was going to roll again, but screw it. All right, Blue Max. Now, the neat thing about Blue Max is you can now replace the space bar. You now have a fire and a dedicated bomb button. That makes this awesome game even better. Yep, button number 2 drops your bomb so you can pay attention to what you're shooting at. Nice. And of course I missed that, and I think I missed the next one too. Missed that building. I don't think I can get that boat. Here we go. I'm gonna get this building though. Nice. I'm gonna miss the car, don't worry. I suck. I love Blue Max. It's one of my favorite games on the Commodore 64. It's in my top 100. Oh, I missed the important one. Oh well. You get the idea. It works. Commando, right? Spacebar fires a grenade. So hopefully button 2 fires the grenade. It kinda does. It does it when it feels like it, which isn't... See, it's like, okay, so I had to push it like 2 or 3 times, and while I'm trying to push it, I'm getting clobbered. It kind of works. All right, chop lifter. So what do you need a second button for chop lifter? Well, it's easy to turn your chopper. Commodore 64, we got used to holding the button down to make the turn, but now you can actually turn with the second button like the Apple II original version of this did. Nice. I like chop lifter. It's a lot of fun. It's even more fun when you have that dedicated button to do those turns like that. Very nice. Let's sit here and smoke this guy. Unfortunately, I think I kill about half the guys on this run. Here we go. All right, here we go. The problem is you can't land on him either. If you land on him or you shoot him, anything, then this guy just won't die. I don't know what the deal is, but I just cannot seem to kill him. And then I just end up landing and killing my own guys. I do like Choplifter a lot, though. A lot of fun, and it works great with the second button. Oh yeah, Green Beret, baby. Being able to have both an attack and a special weapon button is awesome, so you don't have to keep reaching over with like your foot to slam on the space bar. This is a great port, too. This is one of my favorite Commodore 64 games, too. There you go, special weapon. Yes, special weapon on button 2 works like a dream. It's very fast and responsive. Nice. Yeah, it really changes things here, too. Because I know, listen, we all know. We all used our foot to slap the spacebar on the Commodore 64 while we were playing this game. You did it, and I did it. It's okay. We're all guilty. But yes, this is fantastic. This is like one of the best 2-button games I think there is. There's some better ones coming. There's some better ones coming, though. Stand by. Operation Wolf. Yeah, so what would you need this for? You have a fire and a grenade button. Normally, using the grenade would require the space bar. Not so anymore. You've got a second button that works. And again, I want to remind you that these games are all patched to use a second button. Although some of these games are from the Commodore 64 GS or Game Station. I think that's what it stood for. Essentially, it was a dedicated Commodore 64 gaming machine with no keyboard. And it actually had built-in 2 buttons, so a lot of the GS games just work out of the box. And you probably caught it that I've used the grenades a couple of times here. But I'm waiting for a helicopter to come out so you can see me properly take that sucker down. Not that I'm doing a great job here. I think I would much rather use a mouse. Look at that. Boom! Yeah, it works great. Operation initiated. Dun, 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 dun. Rambo, sure. Yeah, so essentially you would use the spacebar to change between your different weapons. So we're hoping that button 2 will let you toggle through your weapons so you don't have to keep reaching up and hitting the spacebar. Again, usually with your foot. At least it was with me. I did wear socks. Thank you. All right, here we go. Knives. Change to the exploding tipped arrows. Oh, I changed to the other arrow. Nice, okay. Or missile, whatever that is. And the exploding tipped end. Perfect, yes. The button works great. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot to see in this game. But yes, the second button works great. Oh, okay, whatever. Now, this might be my favorite game. I played like hours of this once I got this controller working. So look at this. Fire on one, bombs on the other, just like Scramble should be. Now, if you have one of these controllers or this type of controller from another company, Tech Dungeon, that's who we're promoting here. No money changed hands. They're just really cool people. I'm not getting paid. But yeah, this situation, if you put the resistor in, this is one of the games that doesn't work with the second button. It has to do with the sensitivity or I don't know. Listen, I'm not a technical guy. I just know that when I reached out to Tech Dungeon, they simply said, pull the resistor off and bridge it. My terrible soldering job, I bridged over the resistor and bang, my second button worked with about half the games you see here. All right, Spy Hunter, of course, you need a second button to deploy oil, to deploy smoke, or whatever your secondary weapon is. I had to jump around on this one a little bit. This one's a little hard to get to because, you know, you don't get that special upgrade until later in the game. And let's be honest, I haven't played this game in a while. I remember playing the crap out of it when I was a kid, though. All right, so you drive. You try to avoid hurting civilians. You want to run those guys off the road. Listen, I'm just trying to get to the oil truck here, people. And the first one hauled ass away from me. I didn't even get the first one. That's why I had to cut it. Here we go. Line it up. Get in there. Yes. Ah. All right, so now the second button should release an oil slick behind me as I drive, providing it all works, of course. Here we go. Yeah, oh yeah, nice. Oh, that's so much better. Oh, kill the truck, whatever, get out of here. You lose points when you kill the truck, or you stop earning points. Not that I'm really doing anything with the oil, so that might have worked. Nope. Yeah, well, we know it works, and that's the important part. Ah, bridge out. Ooh, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make the boat. Nice, here we go. Get the boat. Nope. Oh, I'm gonna crash. No, really? Whatever. Turrican. Okay, listen, this is like one of the gold standard games, right? Gold standard games for multiple button controls. And what do you need the second button for? You need it for the big smart bomb thing there. I don't know what that's exactly called, but normally it takes the space bar. You still push up on the controller, right? So there could be a two-player version. There could be a two-button version of this patch that would use the other button as a jump instead. But I like having that smart bomb, or whatever the hell it is. I like having that on the second button. Nice. Yeah, it works well. I mean, I can't imagine playing Turrican with one button ever again. And of course, speaking of Turrican, we can't leave out Turrican 2. Of course, let's see what Turrican 2 looks like. Of course, if the first one worked, we'd expect this one to work. However, if you had the resistor in place on this controller, one of these worked and one of them didn't. It was very frustrating. It took me forever to figure out, well, I had to call for help, right? Tech Dungeon had to call for their help, and they helped me get this controller working so I could show it to you. Now, I've worked out a deal with them. Remember last time I reviewed a piece of hardware and you guys still can't get one? These guys just got a brand new shipment and they promised they would keep like 20 controllers aside. So if you go to their website, again, link in the description down below, go to their eBay listing, select the Monroeworld model. That's going to pretty much guarantee you a slot. And if you want a different color than the default or whatever, leave a comment that says, I want color X, Y, or whatever. Just a little deal that they're putting together for us. Again, not sponsored. I'm not making any money. I just didn't want you guys to have to suffer after, 2 seconds after seeing the video, there's no stock. And I'm also working on another video where I'm going to make sure the same thing happens. I'm not going to release the video and the guy doesn't have any stock of the product to sell you. So check that out in the description below. While you're down there, like, subscribe, hit the bell, hype this video if you have that feature on your phone. Appreciate that a lot. I'm Shane R. Monroe. Enjoy this. And again, check out the description for all the goodies. Take care. We'll see you next time.